Alright, this is October 23rd, 23. Yesterday, the 22nd, in Kohl's. Okay? In Kohl's. There's an older, they should have cameras. My phone's tapped. Whatever officer was assigned, they got the tab of this guy's confession. It's middle-aged couple, white, tall white guy with a lady. Okay? They have cameras in there, too. Lisa, this guy said I was talking to Lisa, and they said they looked it up, and it was medication error. And here are the people they hired and they brought here to rape her. They killed all those people that were here, that they killed when they were here. Okay? The ones they paid to be here. They rape her. Strange had told him that she was faking she was sick. And I asked her, was she getting well before she got all the way well? And she said, yeah, for a while. But they didn't think about it because Strange said she was faking. So they believed it. He admitted Lisa paid for those men to rape me because of Strange's lie. And the ones they brought here killed all those people here, the human traffickers that they paid for. And then they were talking about my ex-husband being remarried, and they didn't think it's funny who he married. Well, no, because he's younger than even their kids. She is. She looks like she's 25 and he's 64. Yeah, it's really not funny. I have a 20-year-old grandson. See what I mean? It's really not funny. But they admitted, that guy admitted that Lisa told him they paid for those men to show up here, to come here and rape me because of Strange's lie. And they told him. And they are the ones that killed all those people. And they know it. The human traffickers. Someone needs to pull Kohl's in Belden, and they have those people confessing inside the store. And whatever officer had, several people had my phone yesterday walking around me, where I sent letters to the president, the National Security Agency, and the Department of Justice. Okay? Before we were in Kohl's, we were in Target. My client and I, some guy, he seen me turn around, he looked shocked. He turned around, he looked shocked. Okay? He had a little baby in his hand. He told that girl, come on, that's the one that Mafia's got a hit on. And I thought, shut up. Seriously. Well, we get done shopping, we go over to where the food aisles, this guy way off in the distance is talking about getting some, now if they're not talking about me, somebody's in a lot of trouble, about taking somebody out with a single shot. Okay? Way off in the distance, he's on the phone in the main aisle. Need to find out who they're gonna kill. Okay? Then I go down other aisles and I'm typing as we're walking about trying where they've been selling the login, where I'm a notary, and I went in a nursing home, and guys in wheelchair were excited to see me. Look, it's carrying around the house. Okay? Oh, they have watched all this craziness, and they watched me shower. Yeah. driving by in the wheelchair, real fast, smiling at me, all excited. Okay, I go in an aisle and some guys was, as I was typing it, he said older guys were happy to see her. That's funny. And then I'm typing it how they show the rape and torture to 5-year-olds. Another guy with my phone looked up, they showed that to 5-year-olds. No wonder they're calling them bad names. And they walk off. I go walk down another aisle. People are walking by. John's gonna end up in jail for this. FBI agent John they made fun of. For that they pulled in Walmart 62 on June 7th, 23. He's gonna end up in jail for this. Okay, I go by, there's a guy, looks like Arab descent, longer wave hair. And he's mumbling something like the King's Men are happy he got arrested. Okay. And that's when we leave and go over to Kohl's. Now, before that, then we're going to have a talk about that one. Well, we can do it right now. I'm an FBI informant. That guy knew that. The police watch me. They have a copy of my phone. They're walking around me or driving. And you guys all show up and say you work for the king from Texas. He's a drug lord. Huh? Around cops. You admitted you were human trafficking. That means serial killing. You're working for a drug lord from a different state that's serial killing people around police officers. All they had to do was follow you. You gave him up yourself. How do you think when the sheriffs and marshals on February 14th did that big 800 people sweep of different people that were here in Connections, where I met with my friend Matt on January 20th, 23, I got a friend in the police department 2 hours away. They know about the case that agent away. They know about the Texas group. I'm like, the Kingsman? He's like, is that what they call themselves? They said they were the men that worked for the king from Texas. We are his men, and the king left his men here to watch. Tell people he was a drug lord. They told people they were human traffickers. What did they just confess? They're working for a drug lord from Texas that's killing people. Right in front of the cops. They basically told the police. Well, that's where I'm sitting there and they're talking about a retired judge involved down there. They went down and questioned me, killed himself, and other judges involved in another state. They found 35 people in a railroad car, and then the African American people, they were taking in and shooting them. And then you have so much hurt and pain in your eyes, and drove me till I was stuttering. And the police are getting ready to take care of this, and they're not releasing a lot of information. And then 3 weeks later, where I had all those states around me, and they were bragging their crimes around me, the sheriffs and marshals out of this area pounced on them. It was like the biggest case in the world. See, that's where that guy admitted that Lisa paid for it. Well, see, that's where Terry on the phone where I didn't hang up. Of the churches taking up $25,000, it was Keith Bishop, Strange, and Ron, because Ron wanted me dead because I got wealthier as a kid died. Strange as life. Now, I want you to honestly think of the morbid mentality. The morbid mentality of these people. It's 15 years later. Somebody lied on me 15 years later. They all watched me go through the surgeries. People are dropping off food after I had the surgeries. And then they see me in so much pain I can't stand it. My mom's telling everybody she's going to pain management. I swallow up. I literally gained 150 pounds in 8 months. Went from 105 to 256 pounds in 8 months. I want you to think of that. I swelled up like a round balloon. Couldn't walk. It was horrible. I went from just having surgeries and been a thin little nothing to this huge round person. My legs are popping out like my feet are huge. I'm literally dying from medical malpractice. And then even Dave told Strange, they're getting off all that medication, and he told everybody they had me on morphine patch. And to get me out moving, I get better. And then they watched me slowly get better over 9 months. 9 months. See, yeah. Now they're going to try to kill me because someone lied on me. They hired people to rape me 15 years later out of some sick vengeance. 15 fucking years later. The satanic people that hired the Iraqi terrorist. Do you realize that means FBI agent John is working with the Muslims? People were walking around Target. It was a bunch of Muslims did this to her. Okay? Okay? Earlier that day, after my client's church, we went to the Goodwill outlet. A bunch of men come in. We went up to that church. And there was an FBI agent there. We looked her up. Her whole family did speak highly of her or did defend her before. And the one set of kids were caught stating that they lied so that girl get that house. And get everything. And the whole family defended her. What are these people doing? Huh? I heard it's a bunch of Muslims did this to her. And people outside. They were talking it too. Looked it up. Her whole family did defend her before. They have told people since 18, and if you have the case, they actually know that. And the one side of kids were lying for Michelle to get the house and trying to trick me into giving everything up on mean games of pretend. Huh? No. And the police already know that. This is where all this has got stupid. I'm telling you. When I work up in Akron. Okay? The first week I was up in Akron, they were knocking on the door. Don't say anything to her. We all got phone calls. It's wrong to defraud anybody, especially victims. And they said, have you listened to Karen before? Because they all know they sold a login. He's like, yeah. And they thought it was John. They were saying, we're wondering if it's him. He's working with the Muslims, killing U.S. citizens. Where people said he's going to end up in jail for this. He very much needs to. But they actually have people admitting in a store that Lisa paid to have me raped and bought those people here that killed all of those, what, 4,000 or 5,000 people over 5 years that are human trafficked out of here, where all the human traffickers pounced on Ohio in 18. Ron and Lisa paid for it. Okay. Thinking they're millionaires playing God. I need a new name. I need moved. This isn't funny. They told me during the case, for when they find you alone, that's when they'll take care of you. They have a field packed out south of Ravenna to cut up your face, stab you to death. They play with me. And then they do. They told me that when they kill me, they would make sure Dave had no connection. I should have... Sheriff David, Mike DeWine's cousin, I'm friends with him. He's like, is your local police low? You should have been put in a safe house. The first day, they should have arrested that agent the way he talked to you. And that retired judge, they can't do anything like this. No, they can't. And with Oh, you'll love this one. You'll love this one. I'm in Applebee's and I'm typing, blasting them on Facebook. People need to learn to leave me alone. Need to learn to leave me alone. You make fun of me for some terrorist, hired terrorists that are killing women and children here, for them to have me raped, tortured, bash my skull in, human trafficked, and they sell videos of it, and almost murdering me. You guys make fun of me, and I've been blasting people on Facebook trying to get people to leave me alone. Of how fucking stupid are you participating in this? Some stupid woman sent behind me. I got a phone call about the shit that's going on with her. She wasn't supposed to say anything. Bitch. Bitch. I didn't even turn around and look at you. That agent told on that church. Before I called him back and I said it on a recorder line. And with his own confession, he had talked to Dave and Strange. He acted like a drunken man on a bar stool instead of a federal police officer, making fun of a rape victim and calling out my rapist's name that I had never met, nor did not know who they were talking about. And Dave said he hired that rapist on his own. With their own confession, they talked to Strange and they had talked to Dave. Because where the guy shows up at the church the night before, I tell him someone told on me. You liar. It was verified by the Norton and Barberton police and hundreds of people seen him. It was him. Everybody knew before the case started. And with his own confession, he knew they knew. And he had been in contact with them. I tell him about the guy that threatened to knife me. Calls me a liar. I told him he tried to kidnap me. Terry seen him. He had killed Lori's family member. Dismembered her. Had people laugh in her face. There was a big warrant for him, and I'm describing him. Okay? He went on to take Marlisa's niece. And he's calling me a liar, and if you don't say you're lying, I'll arrest you, I'll put you in jail, fine, whatever. And he cackles at me, obstructed justice on purpose. Now you say you were faking, you're sick. I was really sick. It's a documented medication error. Almost killed me. Medical malpractice. Okay? I was really sick. I got MRI reports, blood work, false diagnoses, fentanyl patches from where I got on pain medicine, high enough pain medicine to get out moving, and got off all the other medication. And when I finally got well 9 months later, of pulling myself around. Now, it's a documented medication error since 2002. You either say you're faking you, it's a crime, whatever. Act like a drunken cat. Why would the FBI help a person like you? Well, they're going to try to kill me. So, it's a sworn duty. Sworn duty. Sworn duty. They've tried to kill me. So, the guy yells out, well, we could use Pete's tape. A weird with yourself. It's a washing scene done on purpose to make you look weird. Photoshopped. Over 10 people. Okay? Pumpkins. He just admitted they were taping me and framing me. And they're yelling out the guy that covered me with bruises, throwing up, heart racing, severe personal infection. They're laughing at me for the hired stalker that Dave said he hired on his own. The one to frame me. Because I didn't die. They yell out, Pete something. It's supposed to be some kind of roofie confession. I've never talked to him. So they admitted they talked to Strange and Dave. And that they were surveillancing me before and framing me, and they didn't arrest him. They didn't arrest him. They were like they were drunken cats in a bar, making fun of a rape victim instead of police officers. Give me a real reason. And they were laughing. Stop, she don't know. Laughing at me. They knew I didn't know. It's a Photoshop washing scene and date rape drug confessions. I was waking up with headaches, throwing up, heart racing, almost passing out, giant bruising, and a severe personal infection. I'm going to the doctor. I don't know what's wrong with me. And they're giving me iron pills, stuff for headaches, throwing up, and the personal infection. And muscle relaxers because my muscles hurt so bad from BMV. And nobody's putting it together that somebody's violating me. He told Apostolic Church of Barberton, all those people up there, that he knew I was being drugged, being raped, and didn't care at that agent the night before. And they've told everybody. And that he didn't care because of strangers lie. A police officer didn't care somebody was being raped. Was being human trafficked. And hundreds, there's so many people that know it's not funny. Okay? Give me a real reason why my brother-in-law died working under Dick Cheney. Okay? I can describe him. Well, I can take you somewhere and leave you. I don't have money to start. And then he's like, well, if you agree to get information on Dave and the churches, I can list you informant. I can do that. I didn't know I was facing Iraqi terrorists and a drug cartel. And then he does the money, the immunity, even when you tell, I meant to know wrongdoing, I'll take care of everything in the end. And you can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case, and you'll have that money to live on. And then flip-flop, you try to tell someone else you're crazy. Who did he just say? He knew they were illegally monitoring me. They were framing me. He knew who did it. And he talked to Dave. And he talked to Strange. Everybody knew before the case started. He was the one at that church, and he told people up there, and they were talking about it up in Akron. We went over to that church because they sold a login. He did tell all those people he knew she was being drugged, being raped, and said he didn't care because of that lie. It's not funny an agent said that. See, that's what they were saying up there. It's not funny an agent said that. A federal police officer told somebody they already knew I was being drugged, being raped. He didn't care because the stranger's lie. It's a documented medication error. I want you to think about that. Everybody already knew even before the case started. I told you I didn't think Will was real. So what I did is when I heard Dave threaten Dixie and the baby's life and then they had a list, I Googled the office and I found him. He was very much real. That's where the police officers show up about working Karen around the house. He actually opened a real case with statements. There was never staying quiet. I have gave you the big list of the drugs and told to say it, the fake sodium pentothal reports, where I've never talked to anybody. I have never even been questioned wrongdoing. They just made fun of me that some guy photoshopped something like that, and I didn't know, and said something I'd never talked to somebody, and I only had bruises. I don't know, and they didn't even question me. They were just laughing at me that some guy named Pete was doing this to me. And I didn't know, and they were cackling at me like jackasses. They didn't even ask me. They just called me a liar and an idiot. I've never been questioned or wrongdoing. I've never been prosecuted. I've never been found guilty. People were following me yesterday, and I said, I'm going to put it this way. How would you like to wake up running to the bathroom, throwing up really bad, and think of the flu or COVID? You think, where did I bang my arm? You don't think much of it. You know what I mean? And then it takes you 2 or 3 days, you get better, and then it happens the next week. You almost pass out in front of people, and then your personal area starts swelling up, and you're infected. And then you think, wow, do I got some kind of real virus bug? Go to the doctor, they treat the symptoms. Then about a week later, it happens again. And then you're starting to think, do I have something really wrong with me? And the doctor keeps treating the symptoms. And then to find out some sexual predator's been hired to stalk you, sell you on porn sites, Photoshop a washing scene thinking they're a smart ass, and where you've been throwing up and dizzy, and they have drug confessions, thinking that they could pull a fast one by drugging you up and telling you to say something stupid in your own home and photoshopping a washing scene. Now, I want even men to think about that. You come home, you find your wife like that. You're like, honey, what's wrong? Where'd you bang your arm? Well, stay in bed, you're throwing up, you'll be fine. Then the next week, It's happening again. It's like, honey, you're infected. So go to the doctor. Maybe you got some kind of weird virus. Then it keeps happening. And then you find out some sexual predator is watching your wife, been taping her in the bedrooms, selling her on porn sites. He's planning on extorting money from you. And where she's fine and she even goes to take a drink out of something in her house when she's alone, and all of a sudden she gets a tizzy. And hours have passed and she thinks she's working to her. Huh? Tell you what, I learned not to let Dave around my drinks. I learned the hard way. Because you never want to leave your drink around Dave. He'll slip something in it too. Okay? And I'm telling you, how would you like to find some guy come up to you and tell you he'd been doing all that crap to your wife? That he sold her on porn sites, he took a washing scene, put it in the other room, and where she had all those marks and she was thrown up, he was breaking in and drugging her up with roofies and told her to say a bunch of stupid stuff and raped her. Now he wants money or he'll put her in jail. That's crazy shit. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. The right to privacy over your own house, nobody can ever look at it. That's crazy shit, though. I put it on Facebook. You made a big mistake where you drugged me up and told me to say stuff. You should have walked me outside the right to privacy over the house. Next time, do it better. Walk the person outside. And if you're going to put the shower scene in another room, make sure you put the shower scene outside. If you're going to Photoshop it, make sure you do it right next time. Right to privacy covers it. In the house. Make sure you Photoshop everything outside. It was done by Fentanyl King. Dark web malware. Iraqi. That's where all those Muslims are showing up. And the jobs, the women in them. And they brought the Iraqis here. And how many thousands have been human trafficked out of Ohio? 4,000 or 5,000 in the last 5 years. Over 1,072 this year of children. How many children do the Vegas have to kill? Where that guy said they killed a bunch of people here. Oh yeah, mostly children. Everybody turn them in. And somebody, the FBI needs to pull that tape. They need to get my money. Like my friend from the prosecutor, they have to pay you the rest of your life. They have to protect you. The Department of Justice, they'll put them in jail. If you work 5 minutes a case, an hour case, they can never legally drop you. What are they doing? Even police have told people, what are they doing? They have to give her money. Exactly. And I need out of here. And the police used my case and got thousands of bad guys. And someone needs to take care of that John. The one they said they fooled. And how could they fool you? How much they give him? A shower scene in the other room done on purpose, May 26, 22 at noon. And then a whole bunch of people being drug framed, photoshopped, and more than 10, and the police already recorded them carrying around the house. FBI informant.